Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm super excited today. I have Crystal and Michael sharing the screen with me today, and they are our coaches in this online business. And I have the opportunity to just talk a little bit about the business with them today, and they're going to ask me a couple of questions, and we're just going to see if maybe some of these questions are the same ones you have, and maybe we can answer them. So, hi, Michael and Crystal. How are you?
Hello. We're doing well.
Good. Can you just tell us where you are from? Most of our page followers hopefully know that we're here in Toronto, but where are you guys at?
We're from Calgary, Alberta.
Awesome.
So we have 4 kids. We are both actually born and raised here in Calgary. And about 6 years ago, right after our twins were born, we had a pretty scary health scare in our family. And that made us start looking for a change. I was working full-time, Michael was working full-time shift work, and we just didn't see each other very much. And our huge wake-up call made us start looking for something different. Being away from the home, we had a nanny watching our kids in the day, so I was missing out on a lot of moments. And we were doing that at the time to support our lifestyle, because we wanted to be able to have our kids in sports and do typical things we wanted to be able to have our kids do. But that did force me out of the home. So our wake-up call just showed us there's more important things in life than just working your life away. And I wanted to be at home with our kids. I wanted to be able to volunteer at their school or have play dates or do whatever I wanted. So Michael started searching online for quite a while.
Yeah, a long time.
We tried different things.
We did, the online store kind of thing. We had inventory that we'd ship in, and we did well with that for a long time, but it wasn't exactly what we were looking for. It took up too much of our time. It took up a lot of storage.
And I didn't want inventory with 4 young kids getting into everything. And then
yeah, and we knew the online world is kind of where it was at. Everybody banks online, everybody shops online now, and more things are being moved to the online space. So I just kept looking until I found a business that we could hook up to, obviously, that is already pretty much set up for you, that we could just plug into. It's almost like a franchise, if you will. So you basically just plug into that system. There's training that's already available for people, and once we saw how everything worked and how the kind of money that you can make from it, we were pretty much sold.
Yeah, I will admit I was very skeptical at first, because I was like, how are you finding this amazing thing just scrolling online one day? I was like,
right.
Are you sure?
You get together, right?
Yeah, I was like, are you sure this is legit? And it took him about 2 months of him convincing me to actually look at it. I hadn't even looked at it. But as soon as I watched it and I joined, I was like, oh my goodness, this is it. And so I actually left the corporate world after 15 years, and this has been supporting our family. So it's just been amazing.
That's so great. So let's do. So how long have you guys been in the business now?
Just over 2 years now.
Okay, 2 years. So let's go today and compare it to 2 years ago. Like, what's the most major change between the Fennings 2 years ago and the Fennings today?
Yeah, you know what? I've noticed a huge difference in Crystal personally, because she was very busy with her corporate job. She almost did a split shift kind of thing, and while she made good money at that, we didn't have a lot of time with her. So for me, I would have to say the time that we've had now with each other as a family, and just her mentality, her happiness. She's changed a lot. She's at home. She's with our kids. She's doing what she's wanted to do. I don't know, anything else you want to add to that?
Well, we were also super in debt, and so obviously this has been amazing. We've paid off 3 credit cards, but more than that, it's more of the traveling aspect. We love to travel, and so we would just go somewhere, because it's really expensive, obviously, to fly 4 kids somewhere. So most of our trips have just been us going away, and we've always wanted to take our kids to Mexico, but we've never been able to, or go as a family to Disneyland was a huge goal. So when we started the business, those were the 2 biggest things we wanted to come out of this was to be able to do those 2 trips. And last year we actually did go to Disneyland for our twins' birthday in September. So we all went as a family. And then we followed it up a few months later. We actually went to Mexico. So we did the whole all-inclusive resort, and our kids love it, and they talk about going back all the time.
Of course.
So I'm just especially grateful just with everything going on in the world right now, obviously, with travel super limited. I'm just really grateful that we were able to do those things before and be able to have those memories with our kids.
Yeah, for sure. And the really good news is that because of the business, you can go back, right?
Yeah,
It wasn't just one shot, one-time deal, you know? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about it is that it kind of runs in the background. It doesn't kind of run in the background,
Yeah,
it totally
it's
does.
just running. It's just so automated.
So we can bring our cell phones with us and, you know, answer questions or do what we need to do while we're wherever.
We're at the pool or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty great. I mean, that is a huge life change.
Huge.
I mean, that's almost like 2 completely different families living 2 completely different lives.
It really
Which is
is.
really exciting. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah. So
Awesome. Well, we have a couple questions.
I'm new. So ask me some
Yeah.
questions.
So you've been doing this for almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I'm just curious, when you got up and running, so obviously it's been a year, but in the beginning, when you started setting up your business, did you find it difficult to set up? Like, how was the training? How do you think that whole process was for yourself?
Well, I kind of went in with a little bit of an interesting mindset because it was actually my son that introduced me and my husband to this opportunity. And so, you know, he calls and he's like, you guys, you absolutely have to look at this. And so we did take a look at it. And in the back of my mind, I thought, well, I have my son who's in his late 20s and he's, you know, super computer savvy. So I'm going to kind of piggyback on him because I just had it in my head that this is going to be difficult for me to understand and to do. And then I was completely proven wrong on that point because the training was so thorough. It was so simple. It was so well laid out. It was done in lots of different kinds of formats. So it didn't really matter how best you learned, those formats were available to you. And so I realized that, you know, I mean, it's really fantastic to get with my son and to bounce off ideas and all that kind of stuff, but I did not need to rely on him in order to learn the business. And then of course there's continuing training all the time that we have access to in our business community. So so for us, the training worked just as well as it does for everybody. And I kind of thought I'd be the exception to the rule because of my age and I'm not that tech savvy. Yeah. But no, it's you know, it's for everybody and anybody can learn from the training. It's just so well set up. Yeah.
That's perfect. So just to go off of that, how long do you think it actually took you to set everything up, like to be able to be ready to go and do what you're doing now? Like how long did you initially set it take? Like
from like the get-go, I would say it was about 6 weeks. And I think that was a little bit just because I was also my husband was retiring at the same time. Like we kind of looked at this opportunity and we said, you know what, I think we can make a shift. And so we did that shift. And so I wasn't like full-time going into it, but 6 weeks is still pretty darn fast, just for really any business, right? Yeah. And definitely. So set up and going 6 weeks, and it was just a matter of a few weeks after that when we started to see leads come through, and then we were off to the races. Yeah.
That's excellent.
That's awesome. That actually, you answered my next question. I was going to say, how long did it take you to see success? But I know that you started seeing success right away. So that's perfect.
Yeah, we did. And you know what, and it kind of takes a while for you to kind of find your niche and what you're, you know, the people you're trying to attract, and then in the end it's exactly like what they say in the training, just attract yourself. And then when you kind of finally calm down and you just realize I don't have to be somebody that I'm not in order to make this business work. I just have to be me. And then, you know, and then the people that you meet are pretty much just like you, and you get to have this really great circle of people that you get to know, like you guys. And you know, it makes work life pretty great, pretty darn great. So,
we definitely we've definitely made a lot of really close friends doing this, and it's amazing because you work online, so people think maybe there's just that huge disconnect, but we'll have chatted with someone for so long and then you actually meet them in person and it's like you've known them your whole life. And so that's it's just how tight we really can be, even though we work online.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty extroverted, and I almost thought, oh, but having you know, this business online is going to be so lonely, but it has not been that at all, not at all.
Yeah, and that's actually another thing that I think is so interesting, is because you're super extroverted, like you said, and Michael's not, and so it just attracts all kinds. Like he wants to work online because maybe he wants to kind of have his own space, where I'm the opposite. I'm more like you. So you can play the business any way you want. It works for everybody.
It does. And you know, it's taken me a long time personally to be able to do these types of meetings. But I do them, and they're actually quite enjoyable. So I think anybody can do this.
I agree. And I think as soon as you start just tasting a little bit of the fact that everything they tell you is actually true, you know, you kind of have this little resistance. Oh, that's not going to work for me. And then it's like, oh, actually that does work. And then, oh, that's not going to work. Actually, that does work, you know? And I think the more you just keep building and building and trusting that it actually works, the whole thing works, then you just, just like you say, Michael, then it's like, I can do this. You bet.
I agree.
You know?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time to chat with us.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this has been so great. And again, it's such a pleasure to work with the both of you. So I hope we can do this in a year again and see where we're at. That'll be awesome.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
You bet.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.